Yeah, hello Mark. Your son's shoes are done and they're looking absolutely great. I mean, look at that. That looks crisp. So basically, I've done the best job as always. Is what I can do with the shoes given to me and the products and all that sort of stuff. So to summarise for you and people, what we've got here is we've got the Nike Mags replicas from Wish. So they are different in terms of the only difference really is the material used on this. It's clearer, which obviously is great, but it's much softer, so much harder to work with. Once you heat it, it basically like kind of wants to rip and fall apart. So it's much more difficult to get it back in place, which is a negative. You could say a small negative is that you can see the white marks in between more than you can on the yellow ones. However, these are way more crisper. I mean, those look absolutely epic on here. So really, it swings and roundabouts. I think I've done a good job on these, best job as I can, and I think they look great. It's not perfect around here because basically the material basically, like I said, it rips in a couple of places when you heat it up, because you have to heat it up because to get the glue off. But unless you look really closely, you can't tell. I've glued it all down properly using the quality glue, so it's really good. This one is, you could say, is the worst side. This one's the best side, but both look really, really good. I've also want to say that I put in the new bubble in here. So the bubble you gave me on one of the shoes had that watery glue marks in, residue in. I'm not sure what it was, but either way, I took it out. I can't send it back like that, and put a new bubble in that I had left over from a pair of AliExpress shoes. You've got my homemade swooshes on there as well. So just put those on earlier, glued on. I make sure that they're solid. So the glue I use is 60-second glue. It's called fabric glue and all-purpose glue. So these do last. But in the end of the day, if anything starts to peel off like these, it shouldn't do. But if it gets obviously knocked really badly, of course it might do. Then you can just re-glue it. It's simple. But they're made of white leatherette. They look spot on. Inside wiring loom wise, actually I should say go back a stage. These are the brand new panels that came out this week from elwirecraft.co.uk. So they're literally, I had the first batch of these ones in, so you have got literally the second pair I've ever fitted in the pair of shoes is these. So I fitted a pre-production pair 2 or 3 days ago, and then these are the brand new pair just been released, so spot on. And obviously they're designed for a larger shoe, so they fill up the gap actually quite a lot. So yeah, I think they're really nice. Nikes on here, that's one you fitted, that's one I fitted. I will say that these panels here are okay. They're not as good as the panels which EL Wirecraft now create, because they've done them to the spec that I wanted, which is basically smaller. Plus they also print the Nike on there, so you don't get the lines and stuff in between that you do on this. However, they're the same colour as this. They're basically they're the same, just a bit better. These ones also had the wiring's also too long, so I've shortened both sides, double heat shrinked it. So now you've got a matching pair of double heat shrink wires, which is a much neater finish. So that's cool. And obviously I put in a new connector on one of them, which obviously I think on this one you cut it off and wired it directly to the old inverter. So that's got a new connector on as well. We've also gone for the extra long wiring loom. So I don't glue my wiring looms in. Obviously I make a small slit, 3 small slits, and basically carefully push it in with various tools like long nose tweezer, pliers, that sort of stuff. But I don't glue them in. That way, if they get damaged or ripped or broken at any point, these cost £2 each. You can go and get a new one, and it's a bit of a faff to fit, but ultimately you can fit them because the holes aren't glued up. So that's why I don't glue them up. But it's a nice, neat, simple hole down there both ends. I do glue the inner sole back in place, but again, if you ever need to lift it up for any reason, you can literally get your fingers in there and just give it a careful ease up pull, and effectively it will pull it off. Obviously we've gone for the large 3 volt ones here. Always use quality batteries. Don't use the 1.2 volt rubbish rechargeables or non-alkaline zinc ones. I mean, you can use them, but they're not very good, prone to leaking, etc. Always use good quality alkalines. These ones here, so far for me, I believe they last me about 30 hours, plenty of time on it. And you've got this, and you've got blink, and you've got strobe, and you've got the same functionality on this, which is on the button on the back, so you can have them strobing and blinking and all this sort of stuff. So they're great. Same for that. Again, it's all literally brand new parts that arrived, a couple of days ago. You've got a couple of marks on here where I had to clamp them on using special clamps, tiny little clamps, which are these. to hold them in place, which you have to hold them down overnight to get them to glue properly. So it's a couple little marks which will probably come out once they've been used and all that. Because I only removed those off, you know, this afternoon when I got home from work, you know. But I'm pleased with it, you know. I mean, yes, this, you know, this one, you say you're self-fitted, it's obviously glued in place, you can't lower it, that's kind of it. This one is more central, but due to the panel size, which you can't cut down, obviously it comes down here, but again, it's glued in place. That's the best you can do, I would say. We've both done the best we can do with the panels that we've got. But next time, you know, we'll fit the proper EL Wirecraft panels, so get yourself a load of those, because those panels there could be the ones that run out or get banned, basically, you know, from sale. These ones here will always be available because they're obviously not specifically branded with that word on it. Cool. But yeah, I mean, look, crisp as you like, absolutely crisp. So obviously make sure, you know, just make sure it's done naturally, you know, just take care of them, you know, just be careful when you're putting them on and off. Turn them off, you know, take the batteries out if you're not using them for a long time, you know, just so there's no leakage. But again, all these parts are all pretty cheap and stuff, and you know, as long as you sort of take care of the shoes, you know, as best as you can, but you know, they'll last for ages. But of course, enjoy them as well, get them on your feet, wear them. I mean, look at that, it's not even dark in here and they are absolutely beautiful. Cool. So you know, I hope you enjoy. And yeah, all the best, and thank you for EL Wirecraft for providing these quality parts just down here.